What's up, guys? A bunch of new Yu-Gi-Oh news just came out, and we got some massive amount of newer cards on a live stream that did. So there's going to be some crazy boss monsters. Hopefully they're really hyping some stuff up. So let's go and check it out. We got a card that's saying pay your half your life points. So obviously the effects better be pretty dang good. So let's go and kick it off with one of these cards here. So one of these cards is called Terrors of the Nether-Root. By the way, most of these cards will be coming out in Phantom Nightmare. So anyways, this is Terrors of the Nether-Root, which is a normal trap card that says target one monster your opponent controls, or one monster in your opponent's graveyard. Special summon it to their field, then you get to banish one monster they control, then return one of your opponent's banished monsters into the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you get to banish it, then target one level 1 monster in your graveyard, shuffle into the deck, and then you get to set one Terrors of the Underroot, Terrors of the Overroot, or Terrors of the Nether-Root directly from your deck. Okay, could be interesting. It gives them something, and then basically you're getting rid of one of their good monsters at the end of the day. So being able to banish another card can be okay, but I just think in general, you just need your trap cards to be much faster, requiring them to have something in the graveyard, and then you need to swap. You're still kind of giving something to them at the end of the day, but maybe it could be used in some sort of cheesy way, like a Chaos Max. You give them something that has such low defense, right? And then you just one-shot them. It could be an option, but nonetheless, I'm excited to check out these new boss monsters. So these are the new Raidraptor monsters. So let's go ahead and check it out with the first card over here, called the Raidraptor Noir Lanius. So here is the artwork on this card. It's got 1600 attack and 500 defense points. So its effect says, you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is, during the main phase, if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can target one Raidraptor monster you control and add a Raidraptor monster with a different level from your deck to your hand. Second part is you can banish the card from your graveyard and increase or decrease the levels of all Raidraptor's monsters you control by 1 until the end of this turn. Okay, pretty solid effect overall. Next up though, they got Raidraptor Bloom Vulture. Here is the artwork on this card. It's got 300 attack, 1900 defense points. It's going to be a Dark Wing Beast. In fact, they're probably all going to be Dark Wing Beasts, so we'll just save the time on that. Anyways, you can only use the first among the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn and only once that turn. So it says, also, during the turn you activate these effects, you can't special summon monsters except for dark monsters. First part is, if all monsters you control are Wing Beast monsters, you get to special summon this card and one Raidraptor monster from your hand. Second part is, if you control no monsters, you can target two level 4 little Raidraptor monsters, including this card, to special summon in defense position. Wow. That is actually an amazing card effect. Wow, Yu-Gi-Oh is just getting crazy with some of the like free, just reoccurring cards. Potentially, especially if you get to recycle some of the stuff in the archetype. Next up, okay, this is the big boy. This is the big monster they're hyping up on their live stream. Let's see what it is. So this is a Raidraptor Rising Rebellion Falcon. So it's a rank 13. But you're probably just going to rank up. Let's see. So it's a Dark Wing Beast Exceeds effect monster with 4,000 attack, 3,500 defense, so massive. And it requires 5 level 13s. Yeah, good luck, man. You might as well just draw all 5 pieces of Exodia. But anyways, it says if this card is Exceed Summon, you can destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible. Then, if this card has 3 or more Raidraptor Exceed monsters with different names as material, you get to inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's total original attack. Okay, so the second part is unaffected by other card effects, and the third part is once per turn you get to attach 3 materials from this card, then target one Raidraptor Exceed monster in your graveyard, replace this effect with that monster's original effects until the end phase. So it is a mega boss monster, but it replaces the effect, so then maybe it could be affected by other card effects, which is not what you would want, but at the end of the day, it is definitely a mega boss monster, and I'm guessing there's a way to summon it is you're going to rank up or something, because having 5 materials, like, is this our first 5 material, like, level 13, like, monsters? Like, that's just, it's absurd. Again, you're probably just going to rank up or stack them on top of each other. Next up, though, we have Raidraptor Brave Strix. So this is a new Xyz. Looks like it's going to be a rank 5. It's got 2,000 attack and 2,500 defense points. Works really well with the other one that increases the level. So anyways, it's 2 level 5s, and it says you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. So it says you can detach material from this card to set a Raidraptor spell/trap directly from your deck. Second part is, if this card has a Winged Beast monster as material, you get to detach 1 material from this card to add 1 rank up magic spell from your deck to your hand. Okay, so great stepping stone for the archetype. The third effect is a Raidraptor Exceed monster that has this card as material gains this effect. So it gains attack equal to its own rank times 100, and that is going to be a rank 13. So at the moment you have 5,300 attack. That's pretty much topping everything, right? I'm really trying to think if there's really anything that gets over 5,300. Like, they want this to be the ultimate mega boss monster. Anyways, next up we have Rise Rank Up Magic Raidraptor's Force. So it is going to be a quick play spell card, and it says that you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. First part is during either main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you get to target 2 or more Raidraptor Exceeds monsters you control and or in graveyard, including one on the field, to special summon from your extract one Raidraptor Exceeds monsters whose rank equals the total ranks of those 2 or more monsters. And if you do attach those monsters to it as material, it's treated as Exceed summon, and then you get to transfer the materials to the summon monster. Okay, so yeah, you can actually make the card much easier than getting 5 level 13s, because ain't nobody doing that. Alright, next up we have the Raidraptor Roost. So it's a continuous spell card that says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is, if a Raidraptor monster or monster is special summon from the extract to your field, you get to add 1 Raidraptor spell/trap from your deck to your hand, except for Raidraptor Roost. It says, the second part, you can target 3 of your Raidraptor monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of the deck, and then draw a card. Next up, we have the Raidraptor Barrage, which is a normal trap card that says you can only use one of the first and second effect of this card's name per turn, only once that turn. The first part is, if you control a Raidraptor monster, you get to target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, negates its effect until the end of the turn. Unless you control a Raidraptor Exceed monster activation, you can only target monsters. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you're pretty much just going to target monsters anyways. Second part is, you can banish a card from your graveyard, target one of your Raidraptor monsters that are banished or in your graveyard, and add it back to your hand. Okay. Next up, though, we have a new card for fire, and I heard this one is actually going to be pretty insane. So it's got 2,700 attack, it's a Link 3, and the name of this card is the Prisoner Princess of Fruitful Flames. So it's a Link 3 Fire Fiend at 2,700 attack. The Link zones are in the left, bottom, and right, and it's 2+ effect monster, so it is kind of generic. It says that you can only use the second and third effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is you can't spell some monsters except for fire monsters. Okay, that's a big downside already. But if you're playing a fire archetype deck, I'm guessing it's for the new Fire King stuff. Second part is during your main phase, you get to spell summon 1 fire monster from your graveyard. Wow, so at least you're getting to recover one of the monsters anyways. Third part is, if a monster or monster is special summoned to your opponent's field while this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 fire monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy them, and if you do, special summon this card. Wow, that is an amazing effect considering it gets to come back, and then on top of that, you get to bring back another monsters. If this effect though was a quick play effect, it would be so much better, obviously, because then you can kind of like recycle some of the stuff with die and go back to the grave if it gets negated or whatever. Or even from the banish zone, it would be really good. But I still think it's a really good effect at the end of the day, just being able to make it so you would stepping stone, use this card even as another stepping stone, because you just make this card, bring back another card, go into something else, and then bring this card out, pop something that you like maybe make with using this card as material, then you get to get rid of another card, and then you summon it, and it kind of recurs. I mean, most of the fire stuff, that's kind of the design of it. I think it's an okay card at the end of the day against like some of the higher level stuff, because honestly, more than likely it's just going to get banished or you're just going to get OTK'd. To rely on waiting for this card to come back, bring another monster, but yeah. It's still not like a useless card at the end. Okay, so this card is going to be a card that has a huge drawback. I believe it's this one, right? So this card is called Iron Thunderhammer, I believe is the name. So it's a counter trap card that says when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated on the field, pay half your life points to negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card, then destroy all cards in the spell and trap zone and monster zones in the same column. Wow. So this card has actually really good potential. Being able to stop kind of like 2 for 1. I think this card will see some play. I think it's a pretty good card. I'm curious to know, what do you guys think of this? Do you guys think this card will be really good? Obviously against certain archetypes, I don't know, Mech Knights, or anything that revolves around the columns could be pretty good. And then on top of that, you still get to negate something else. So if something already lingers up on the board, I think it's pretty good. And then on top of that, you also get to destroy monsters in the same column, so you could actually activate the effects of any other card when destroyed by a card effect. I think this card has really big brain play, and that's one thing I really miss with Yu-Gi-Oh! I felt like we really lost out on some of the more creative things, like Infernities, like, you know, how you play with no hand. I like this kind of idea, and I always thought that columns were an underused mechanic, and considering you can just use it on your own, you don't have to just make it so your opponent is doing something, you just blow up your own card and you get some other effect. It's a cool card. That is an amazing cool card for creativity. Alright, next up we got some new support for Aroma, which I always thought was kind of like a mediocre archetype. So let's see if they're going to be actually any good now. So to start off, we have Aroma Rosalina. So this card over here, here's the artwork. People love the artwork on these cards though. Anyways, so level 1 dark plant tuner effect, 0/0. You can only use the first and second effects once per turn. First part effect, quick effect, you discard this card, target an Aroma monster control, and gain life point equal to half its attack. Second part is, if this card is normal or special, you can special summon a Aroma non-tuner from your deck. Also, you can't special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for plant monsters. I mean, considering it has the effect just to special summon anything, I mean, this is a pretty good effect. This reminds me of just straight up like a lone fire blossom. And then if you need to, just as a last-ditch effort to survive, maybe, or just get the effect of, Aroma. And the archetype is heavily based around, like, if you gain life points, you gain some sort of bonus. Anyways, Aroma Magnolia over here is a new fusion, 2600 and 1800. Wait, I don't remember this archetype being a fusion archetype, but looks like it's where it's going. Level 8 dark plant fusion effect monster, 2618, requires an Aroma monster and a plant monster. It says while your life points are higher than your opponent's, plant monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Second part is, once per turn, you need to pay 200 life points to banish cards on the field equal to the total number of humid winds, dried winds, and blessed winds you control. I mean, that effect is pretty good. I mean, as far as where I usually had, like, one of these is actually a good card. I think it was, like, one of the trap cards was actually, like, pretty decent for the archetype. But if it is continuous, I think it's good. You can keep on doing it. It's a once per turn. But next up, though, as a third effect, once per turn, if you gain life points, even during the damage step, you can make all plant monsters you control gain an equal amount of attack until the end of this turn. Okay. So that would make it basically like this card being a honest at that point, right? So now it's looking a little bit better. I mean, this is going to be absolutely like an ace card for the archetype. You go for whatever you want in the deck, and it's an honest. Next up, though, we have the Aroma Rosemary, which is a Link 3 Dark Plant Link Effect monster. It's got a 2200 attack, and Link zones are perfect. This is like the best ones. Bottom left, bottom, and in the bottom right. It does require 2 plant monsters, and it says you can only use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. First part is, if this card is special summon, you get to add an Aroma card from your deck to your hand. Second part is, if you gain life points even during the damage step, you can special summon up to 3 Aroma monsters from your hand to your zones that this card points to, which is triple monster. Like, they're just like, giving it like everything, like crazy. But is it still going to make it like a mid-tier archetype? Let's see. Anyways, on the third effect, you contribute a monster's card points to target a card on the field, banish it, and then you gain 1,000 life points. Wow. Now, unfortunately, this part is not a quick effect, though. If it was, then it would be even more insane because you special summon it. Alright, so next up we have the Aroma Blend, which is a normal spell card. It says that you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. So it says discard one card to place a human winds, dried winds, or blessed winds from your hand or deck face up in your spawn trap zone. The second part is you can banish the card from your graveyard to fusion summon one plant fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing materials mentioned from it from your hand and or field, and if your life points are higher than your opponent's, you could also use plant monsters in your graveyard as material by banishing them. I mean, it's pretty good so far. Next up we got Aroma Healing, which is a normal trap card, and here is the artwork on this. And it says you can only use either the first or second effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is gain 1,000 life points for each Aroma monster with different names you control. The second part is you can banish this card from your graveyard to target one Aroma monster in your graveyard and special summon it by banishing one leaves the field, then gain 500 life points. Okay, so I mean, getting 1,000 for each. I mean, the other one literally is this monster and dumps out triple, so if you activate, that's 4,000 life points. I'm more thinking along the lines of like, what can you do with paying a bunch of life points in the deck? I mean, maybe you throw in that Ancient Leaf Kappa, but for the most part, I don't see it being able to like have like negate effects to the point where like you get to go 5 negates, and I still think that the archetype might be underdeveloped. Even though they're giving some like pretty insane effects, it's just what I would consider outdated. Got Earthbound Fusion over here, so let's check out the larger artwork, and it looks like it's going to be a quick play fusion card that says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn if there are no cards in the field zone. you can activate this card during the main phase. Okay, so it says you can fusion summon one dark fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand and or field as material. Second part is, during your main phase, if there is a card in the field zone, you can banish this card from your graveyard to special one Earthbound monster from your hand or graveyard. Also, you cannot special monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for fusion and synchro monsters. That's a really weird, like, randoms, like, out of all those things, and then we just get, like, a random Earthbound thing? Okay. Anyways, let me know, guys, what you think of any of the newer Yu-Gi-Oh cards that we talked about down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, subscribe to the bell so you don't miss out when we cover more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.